Oh, hello, this is Oz. I decided to start making FPVODs with commentary of my games. I hope it will be useful to you guys, and yeah, I guess there's not much more to say. This guy shouldn't be so bad. I'll be making mainly commentaries of PvZ, CVP, ZVT, since those are my main matchups, as well as maybe a few ZVZs and maybe off-race games as well sometimes. I'm not bad with them either, but I don't like to avoid them so that no one gets the wrong impression, so to say. In blue, this is Blue Storm PvZ, and pretty much every single Protoss in this map starts off with a fast expansion. Note my pollen placement. That is the best possible, right over there. Sort of like makes it when you place your forge and your gateway, there's no way the links can go from between or the sides except the gap that I leave. So it's pretty much the best possible placement, and you should do that building placement on Blue Storm. The reason why almost no Protoss does a gateway build on this map, at least if they want to play somewhat safe at least, is because that entrance to the main is so wide that there's no way that 2 to 3 zealots would be able to block it. So it'd be just too risky. A fast link build with speed could really end the game, and well, I don't know, end the game, but at least make it cause so much trouble that it's worth less than what it gains or might gain. Fast expansion is a solid build, so it really isn't that bad. Place your forge at 10th probe or 9th or whatever. Basically, once you have 10 out of 17 and you have the 150, you should place the forge. The reason why you scout at 8 on this map is because you wanna see what he's building. If you see a hatchery build first instead of a pool, which is not 12 pool or hatchery first, then you gotta place about 2 cannons over there. Otherwise you can just cancel your forge to get a faster nexus, and you'd be fine that way. Some Protosses prefer to, at least on this map, make 1 cannon and then make a nexus and then do a gateway and maybe another cannon. But personally I don't like it, since unlike some seem to know, 6 links can perfectly eliminate 1 cannon unless there's a lot of probes blocking, and there's still gonna be like 3 or 4 links left afterwards. So that's why I prefer making 2 cannons. Besides, running past them with a few, maybe 8 links is like very much harder for them as well. Pretty much impossible unless they have speed. And okay, now I noticed he made a spawning pool and a gas, and that means that he's gonna be speedling like 90% sure, like maybe 10 to 12 speedlings which try to sneak by and or run past and cause damage in my main, or possibly if I have a weak defense he may try to eliminate my cannons. But my building placement is perfect, so and my probe placement as well, so he gotta go up there, in which case I just move them like this, and I could have done it more effectively, but that was still pretty good. Only a few links to sneak past, and that's not good at all. In the end he will get like 1 or 2 probes, so he really does lose a lot more in this. He spends the time mining gas instead of mining minerals. He spends a drone on the gas so early and all that stuff. So he actually loses maybe 20 seconds at least on making that build, and he gotta gain it back somehow by doing that rush. Of course, since that didn't deal much damage, doesn't mean that he's actually lost the game, but it certainly does make a difference. So now I may learn some stuff. I was also able to see if he's making a fast spire with a probe I sneaked past before. The thing is, I lost my probe right on the beginning, pretty much, shortly after his links came out, and I have no idea what he's doing after that, until I have like Corsairs or managed to sneak by a scout. So to avoid being killed by fast mutalisks or something. I sneaked a probe around the time when his links were running to my main from the side, and he didn't have any idea that probe is coming. It is very important to know everything your opponent has in PvZ early game, since if you can prepare perfectly for everything, you have such well, drastically more units than you would have in the other cases. I'm gonna do a Corsair first, build Corsair, Citadel and all that stuff first. Usually you need a second assimilator somewhat after I start my cybernetics core, but in this case, as he did that Ling Rush and all, my timings were a little bit off over here, so I didn't need a gas so early. Since I have a little bit surplus on gas and started a few things a bit late and so on, so it's pretty much fine to start gas right now. You only really make it once you need it, and it's important to have a second gas early on, since you don't want either of your tests to be late. And now it's pretty much constant probes and zealots, making more gateways when I have the money, making my tech pretty quickly. The thing is, normally I'd be making speed before Templar Archives, since that way I can add early zealot pressure. But I only saw 3 hatcheries. I saw him gather gas before, and that means that he might be doing fast tech. It could be Mutalisks, it could be something else. So I need fast Templar Archives and all. That's why I decided to make a Templar Archives first instead of Zealot Speed. I can make a Zealot Speed later on. In that case, I just gonna discard the idea of doing a fast Zealot pressure from after this, along with whatever, maybe 1 or 2 Templars or so. And instead I'm pretty much forced to use that new army, which I'm gonna build from that to make a new expansion and so on, which is fine actually. And now constant probes, I'm sending Corsair to scout and destroy overlords, making more gateways and units whenever. Since I decided to start off with a Corsair build, while there's a chance that he's making Mutalisks, I feel that I'm pretty safe while doing even though I'm not making an Archon first. If I'm pretty sure that he's making Mutalisks, or I don't know at all, you should do an Archon first and then go to Psionic Storm, but I decided to start off with a Corsair build, and I'm pretty sure, since my Corsair, if we take to account that his Ling Rush slowed him down a bit, and he didn't do that fast later, my Corsairs would be able to see it plenty in time. For example, right now there would be no chance that he'd actually have Mutalisks. They'd be popping out about now, and my new cannons would be in time, which I'm taking into account. That's why I added a few cannons, since even though if he's not gonna make a Mutalisk harass right now and here, nothing is really forcing him from actually doing such shots and harass later on in the game. So I decided to be safe and good, and so that's what I did. I'm playing safe, making a few more Corsairs. Since I was a little bit lazy with Archons, it's useful to make a few more Corsairs to sort of like counter everything that he possibly could have if he's making a sort of like a maybe Mass Hydra and Mutalisk to kill off your High Templars or so, or whatever Mutalisk build. It's useful to have a few extra Corsairs. They really deal a huge lot of damage, and it's useful when killing his overlords and all. It really isn't that bad. And now the key thing is in PvZ, at least in my opinion, when Protoss starts off with a fast expansion, is to get your second expansion in time.